Hey, what's up, everyone? How you doing? It's me, Mr. 4K Upscaler. This video will be something different. We're kind of going off the subject. We're not talking about televisions, tech, cloud gaming, stuff like that. This is just something that is a special interest, and I believe it could help you because I don't know how many people know about this. I don't know how many people are aware about this. Because I sure as hell was not aware about this till like recently. I met someone and we got in conversation, and this certain someone told me that, "Oh, I think you might be, you know, INFJF, or you might be all of these different, acronyms. It's almost like this individual was talking to me like in an alien language. Like, what in the world are you talking about? All these letters, INFG and EP, INFG-T, and there's also EP. There's many different acronyms, and I didn't know what these acronyms meant. Because, like, did I just land on a different planet? Because I was like, well, what do you mean? And then we got into the conversation a little bit deeper and deeper and deeper, okay, with this individual that I met. And then she told me, well, have you looked into it? I said, no. I mean, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, what exactly are you talking about? The reason I'm telling you this is because I know you're kind of confused right now, and if you don't know what this is, then you probably are super confused, and you're like, Jesus Christ, where's the third act? Where's the punchline? What's going on here? If you're somebody who's familiar with this, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I was just like you. I was confused. I had no idea like what this is. What does this mean? What is the purpose of this? But anyway, we all, before I start explaining what this really is, what the what the introverted and intuitive judging personalities are. There's about 16 of them. It's important to realize a couple of things. You don't even like observe yourself sometimes when you are talking and socializing with people, when you are going to certain places. You don't really observe yourself. Others observe you, but you sometimes don't observe yourself because you are not looking at yourself from a third person perspective. Okay, you're looking at yourself from a inside first person perspective, and you don't realize how other people observe you and how they look at you. And it's hard for you sometimes to realize, hey, well, I'm not doing anything wrong. This is me. This is who I am. Um, we all have different traits of personalities. For example, I have a personality where I didn't realize I had that. I always felt like I had to question everything. I always felt like I shouldn't follow certain orders, like simply because someone told me to. Like, well, why should I do that? Uh, I always felt like maybe I don't belong here. Why am I here? I never really worked well in big groups of people. Uh, I mean, I'm not shy. I'm. Believe me, I'm not a shy person. Never was, never will be. It's just I had a difficult time being around so many people. I always felt like I was different. Even growing up, I felt like I could read people better. I could look at them and I can tell right away what their intentions are without even them opening their mouths and saying anything. Like, I can read them and I can tell with their body language and the way they're looking at me, and almost like reading them like an open book. I could tell in advance, ahead of the curve, on what they are pretty much thinking and what their intent is behind their words. Remember that, what their intent is behind their words. Because people don't tell you exactly what they're thinking, but they're using different types of words to cover what they're really thinking. And I was able to see that throughout my life. I was able to read certain people, and this is one of the reasons why I had a difficult time with relationships, why I had a difficult time with friendships, because I just couldn't pretend to enjoy something when I know that this person it's a fake, when this person it's for the lack of a better word, maybe I shouldn't use a fake, but that this person is shady and it's trying to manipulate me, it's trying to use me, it's only just feeding me the BS, and well, I guess you can use the word phony, phony friends. You know what I mean? I guess we can use the word phony. Phony, it's sort of like a fake. It means that it's not really a friend. It's just somebody who's just feeding you BS all day long. So I was able to see different things, and I always felt different. My thinking was always different. And I always have these creative ideas. Even the reason why I started this YouTube channel was because of the creative ideas. It really wasn't because of the money. I never really gave a shit about, after my father passed away. By the way, it's going to be 5-year anniversary of my father passing from the cancer. After my father passed away, I was always looking for something to do. I was really in a bad spot in 2015. A lot of things went wrong for me. My relationship, my previous relationships went down the toilet. My dog passed away. My father passed away. It was too many things happening all at once. So I was looking for something to do. And I was looking for something to keep me focused creatively, not to think about my past, not to think about what has happened, the present. And I was looking at creativity. And YouTube became that creativity for me, where I get to, I just use 4K and televisions, and I invested my own money. I mean, what does that tell you? Somebody who invested his own money. Everything you see, it's invested by me. I'm my own sponsor, basically. I invested everything by me. But I didn't care about that. Somebody who's wasting his own money and investing his own money, it means that he doesn't care about the money. But I did it because I needed something to keep me busy, to be creative. And that's where the reason I'm telling you all of this, because I want you to understand, excuse me, how my mind works, how my personalities works. And I couldn't see that, how my personalities were working, until I met this person, this individual, and she told me, well, you need to look at this test. You need to test yourself. It's like a 12-minute test. It can take maybe a little bit longer. And when you take this test, you have to be honest. And you really have to truthfully and honestly answer these questions. And then based on that, you will get the results. And some people have taken these tests like multiple times. I'll leave a link down below. And they came out with the same results, pretty much. So the reason I'm telling you all of this about me, because all of you want to know about me, like who is really Mr. 4K. Well, that was the thing. It's the identity, trying to identify yourself. That's what this thing really is about. It's not about, you're not crazy. If you are labeled, INFJ-A or INFJ-T or ENFP-A or whatever it is. It doesn't really matter which personality acronym you are labeled through this test. It's just something for you to understand who you are. It's really about like finding who you are, to understand yourself better. You're perfectly normal. All of this is normal. I don't want you guys to think, oh, if you take this test and that you're going to be some kind of like a Looney Tune. That's not what this is about. This test is about helping you find out who you are. The identity crisis. People have a difficult time identifying themselves to who they are. And this is 16 personalities. And basically what this test does, it detects based on your answers on which category do you fall into. Do you fall into introverted, intuitive, INFJs? There's a lot of INFJs, believe it or not. And INFJs are very creative mind, but they're also dominant mind. They're also very dominant, and they like to dominate. They like to, well, for the lack of the better term, they like to be in control, if you will. But it doesn't mean that that you shouldn't approach somebody who is INFJ, but you need to understand them, you know. And I think this could help you not just this could help you for the relationship wise, friendship wise. I think this could really help you get more social and meet new people, and because they're out there. Look, whatever you have, whatever personality you have, there's gonna be somebody out there who has the same personality as you. And I hope I'm not losing you guys. I hope I'm not confusing you with this. I need you to stay with me on this, because this is something that I didn't realize it existed. And once I met this person the other day, she told me, well, yeah, almost like under which rock have I been living, you know? And it turns out that it's not a huge number of people that have this, but it's a pretty good number, man. Even celebrities like Al Pacino, Mel Gibson, I mean, just a few celebrities out there to name individuals who have these different types of personality traits. So, 16 Personalities is the website where you go in and you take this test and you try to be truthful and honest, and then you find out who you really are. Obviously, I'm not going to go through this test because it would take a long time. This is something you need to take, you need to do. You just click over here, you take a test. You don't have to register, you don't have to log in, you don't have to do any of that. It's free. This is free. This is not some kind of like a clickbait for you to click on a website for me to get some kind of like a affiliate, whatever, kickback money. This is really free. This is free. You click on it and you take the test and you find out who you are. You know, the reason I'm mentioning all of this, and I know this is going to be confusing for some of you who are here the first time. I think human mind, it's, look, we're all humans, okay? And I'm trying to do my best here to express myself on this, because I know this will be a tough pill to swallow for a lot of people who don't understand this, who are not familiar with this. We're all humans. We are humans. But our mind, it's very, very different. It's wired differently. Almost like, think of your mind like a CPU with different cores. You know, this CPU here has like a ridiculous amount of cores. This one only has maybe 4 cores. We're all wired differently. Yes, we are human beings, you know, but we're also wired differently in our minds. And I didn't realize this till I met this person and she told me, have you looked into this? Have you checked this? I mean, there's tons of YouTube videos that will explain this to you much, much better. There's a guy called Frank James. Frank James, he's got like 250,000 subscribers. quarter of a million views, a million views. I mean, it's ridiculous. And I didn't realize how big this was, and that I didn't realize about this. It really can help you. It can help you identify yourself. You're not crazy if you are labeled, INJF or INJFT. It doesn't really matter what your acronym of traits is. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with this. I don't want you to think that, oh my God, I'm this, I'm that. No, it's fine. It's just you are different. You're thinking differently. Your personalities are different. And that's a good thing sometimes. I think it would be very boring if we all were thinking the same, if we all were liking the same thing, pretending the same thing. I think it would be very boring life. I think what makes us very unique, what makes us very creative, is that we are all beautiful minds, but we are all also differently wired. We're wired differently, and that's okay. That's fine. What this is basically, sorry about that. What this is, it's basically finding out for yourself who you are, finding out who you truly are, and to identify yourself. So go ahead, take this test. I'm gonna leave a link down below. Take this test. It's very easy to take this test. It says fast, easy, in 12 minutes. Be yourself, complete all. So you just answer these questions. You answer these questions, but you have to be truthful. Guys, do not rush through this. This is the important part. If you are serious about taking this test, do not rush through it. Take your time and be really truthful. I mean, really, guys, whatever it is, this is private. This is, when you do this, you're doing it privately. You don't have to share it with the other people. You don't have to come out of the closet and say, this is who I am. You don't have to do that. You can keep your privacy, confidentiality. But I think for you as an individual, I think this is important to find out who you really are. So that way you don't wake up in the morning and say, am I crazy? Why I don't feel like I don't belong? Why is it this guy over here, everything seems to work for him and nothing seems to work for me? Why is it that this guy can have that hot, beautiful chick that's number 10 and I can't have nothing? Why is it this guy has this beautiful car and I can't have the beautiful car? Why is it I'm cannot fit into this society and I feel like I'm outcast and I'm here in the middle? Don't do that. Don't do that. That's how you fall into depression, because your voices start judging you. You start self-pitying yourself. You start judging yourself instead of finding out who you really are. So this is not, the Split movie where the guy has like 30 or 40, 36 personalities. This is about individuals who share different traits of personalities. Now, a person who might have that many personalities, that can be also dangerous. So in the movie Split, obviously that guy, it's bipolar, dementia, schizophrenic, identity crisis. That's dangerous. That's mental health right there. That's the part of where it's dangerous. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you as an individual identifying who you are, what your personalities are. So I don't want people to mix this with psychiatry versus personality. Okay? So you take the test and find out who you are, and you'll be surprised. But be truthful, be honest, and I'll leave a link down below. And look, I know that this is not something that you guys will maybe find interesting, but I felt maybe I should make this video to tell you that I have identified myself as intuitive, INJF. I think I'm INJFT. I think I'm the last time I checked. I think I was JF and T. I think I was INJFT. I think I was INJFT, which means that I can be dominant, and which is true. I do like to be sometimes in control, not to the point where I want to tell you to do everything my way, but I do have that control kind of dominant thing. I also have a creative mind. I like to be creative, and I think it shows out in my videos. And I don't like to be told what to do. You know, I'm just not a fan of that. And I like to question things, you know. So, and I can also read people. That's another thing. Meaning, when me and you meet, when we're having a conversation, I can tell right away what's behind those words and what's behind that fake smile, and what are you trying to tell me? Are you feeding me BS? Or so I have that ability, and I fell into that category. So go ahead, take the test, and I'll leave a link down below. I'll leave some other links for some other channels for you to learn more about this. This is strictly special interest, because I think I should share this. I think this could help. That's the reason I'm doing this. I'm not doing this trying to campaign for this. I'm not doing this trying to push this. I'm only doing this to help you. Because some of you might have this 16 personality traits, and you don't know which one of them you are. And I think if you can identify yourself, then you can function better in life. Because you're going to know, hey, I'm not the only one. That's what this is. It's about letting you know you are not the only one. There's, like X-Men, there's a lot of mutants out there, if you want to use that for the lack of a better terms, okay? And there's a lot of people who think, there's good amount of people who are the same personality as you. And they need to take a test to find out who they really are. So I think this could help you. This could help you get out of that depression, because you're thinking that you're something weird when you are not. There's nothing weird about you having a different type of personality. It's normal. It's perfectly normal. That's what this is. It's perfectly normal. And I think this could help you. And I think this could bring people to get together and be able to meet with each other. Like, okay, if me and you have the same personalities, well, we should hang out together. I mean, I think it's cool because we both have the same traits. Let's go hang out and let's see where it goes, right? So I think this could really help people. And I was so bedazzled that I didn't know that this existed, you know. But now I realize that this really exists, and I'm really grateful that I met that person, and she told me, go ahead, check it out. And I'm like, wow, that's interesting. You know, guys, we learn every day. You learn something new. You can't wake up and say, oh, I know everything. We don't know everything. Same thing with doctors. They don't know everything. Same thing with this virus. They don't know everything with this virus. They're still learning about this thing, and they don't know what the second phase is going to be. Is it going to evolve into something worse? We're learning every day, guys. Every day it's a struggle to learn. And you're going to learn as long as you live, because there's so much that we don't know. There's so much you learn every day about everything. So I hope this video helps. I'm sorry that it's 25 minutes long, but I just wanted to kind of share this with the rest of you guys, and I'll see you pretty soon. Take care. Happy Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day, and stay safe. Be good. Love you all. Cheers.